Hi, I'm Missy Wryn. I'm a holistic natural horsemanship trainer. What holistic natural horsemanship is a method of training the whole horse. My specialty has been problem and dangerous horses, and most of the horses that I have received in my training program who were problems and had serious behavior issues typically were in pain, whether it was physical pain or emotional pain. I found that those pain issues needed to be addressed. So I developed a program, Holistic Natural Horsemanship, to address and work with the whole horse. My motto is, problems are not always training issues, and I want to train the whole horse for a safer ride. Good girl. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to flex, I'm going to ask disengage, and I'll kiss, and I'll start pressing a little harder. She's not paying attention. Well, she's being stubborn about it. So let me go back to the way I showed you. When you got a horse that won't do it, my thumb will go there. I'll ask. Oh, good girl. All I had to do was just lift that end of that lead rope, and she knew that I was going to follow through. Good girl. Good girl. And remember, if you lift that lead rope and you start swinging at your horse and your horse doesn't move, you do need to follow through and tap that horse's bottom until they move. And as soon as that horse moves, you release the pressure and tell them what a good boy, good girl they are. Good girl. Let's try one more time. See if I can do it without having to swing the lead rope. And I'm going to ask. Good girl. Very nice. So she has her disengagement down very well. That inside foot is crossing that outside foot and disengaging those hindquarters. Back up. Back up. Very good. Now I want to show you how I like to teach a horse to yield their hindquarters when I just point at their bottom. I want their bottom to move when I point at it. So I'm going to teach her to do this first by using my stick. I'll use my stick as added pressure. It's an extension of my hand. I'm just going to tap on her bottom, asking her for yielding the hindquarters, disengaging, moving that bottom away from me. And as soon as she gives it, I'm going to rub her to a stop. Tell her what a good girl she is. Oh, she's yawning off her anxiety. You're such a good student. So let's turn her this way so you can see. There, what a good girl. Now I'm just going to love her with the stick. Remember, the stick is just an extension of my hand. I'm just going to love her with the stick. Love her up. Good girl. Make sure that she's desensitized with the stick before I start using it on her. Good girl. Remember, we did this before when I did the holistic lunging. You want to make sure that your horse is comfortable with the stick. She knows that it's just an extension of my hand. So I'm standing at the shoulder, about a 45-degree angle. I'm going to tip that nose a little bit, and I'm going to start tapping in the air. Now watch my body language. I'm going to look firm with intent, asking her to move that hindquarters, and as soon as she does, I'm going to release the pressure and tell her what a good girl she is. Oh yes, you are a good girl, aren't you? Okay. All right, I want you to tip that nose. And 2, 3. Good girl. And she moved that bottom. I stay with her and I rub her to a stop. Very good. And release her nose. Good job. Let's turn her around again. Where I want to get with this is I just point at that bottom and I don't have to touch it with the stick. So, 2, 3. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, what we do on one side, we're going to do on the other. Very good girl. And I'm going to be at the shoulder. Tip that nose just slightly. Rub her with the stick so she knows it's just extension of my hand. Good girl. Good girl. And I'm going to look with purpose and intent. And I like to count because it helps me keep track. Horses are rhythmic animals. So I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I want to get to the point where I'm not having to touch her. It's just energy off the stick. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2. Good girl. As soon as she moves, I reward her. Good girl. Good job. And give me that nose just a little bit more. And 1, 2. Oh, very good. I didn't even have to touch her. Excellent. She's learning so quickly. Very good girl. I'm going to let her think about that. She did a real good job, yes. Very good job. What a good girl. All right, we'll try it again. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very good. I didn't have to touch her. Very good. Let's give it a try, just with a point. I don't know if she'll do it, but let's give it a try. She might be at that point already. Good girl. So I'm going to ask her to tip that nose. And I want her to stand. Now, I'll probably add some kissing as well for pressure. You know, you can amp that pressure with your voice. So I'm going to tip that nose a bit and look at that. Just a little bit. That was good. Not a full disengagement, but that was very good. I want her to think about that because that was the lightest pressure. No extra stick. No nibbling on the tack. Yes, there. What a good girl. What a good girl. I'm going to let her think about that. We're going to do it again. Good job. Okay. Good girl. Give me that nose just a little bit. There. And very good. A full disengagement. Wasn't that great? Very nice. And I want her to think about that. And then I'm going to do it on the other side and see if she's got that. No nibbling. Yes, very good girl. Good job. Okay, give me that nose. No, I don't want you to move. Here, let's turn around. And hope. Good girl. Good girl. And watch my body language. As soon as I get what I want, I'm going to drop my countenance. So I'm going to look firmly. Very good. Oh, good. And a full disengagement, too, even after I dropped the pressure. What a good girl. What a good girl. Now, you're going to see how this translates under saddle. When I'm doing a one-rein stop under saddle, I'm going to be able to point at that bottom. If that horse doesn't come off my heel quickly, I can point at that bottom, and she will move her bottom. You'll see. Good girl. So now we're going to move on to yielding the forequarters. Yielding forequarters is going to translate as a turn on the forehand, laterals, side passes, and half passes. This is going to help Tilly connect her brain with her front feet. When I teach a horse to yield their forequarters, I like to do it against a wall, or you can do it against a fence. It helps the horse not move forward because it's natural for them to want to step forward, and I want her to cross. So I'm going to take her over to the wall. Come on, girlie. So we're going to be at the wall. I'm going to ask her to step up. And sometimes horses are scared of the wall. So if your horse is afraid, give them some time. It's natural for a horse to be claustrophobic, and a wall can be scary to them because they feel closed in. So if she was afraid of the wall, I'd give her some time to get to know the wall. Good girl, and support her through that. Good job. But she doesn't seem to have a problem with the wall. Very good. Now, to ask her to move this inside front foot across, I'm going to put my fingers where my foot would be at the girth, and I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to put it up towards her eye. That's to help support her to cross over. I'm also going to be stepping in front of her to help her cross that front foot. I will be making motion towards the eye. If she doesn't move off, I'll take the heel of my hand and just kind of bump down on the cheekbone for extra support to get her to move off. Eventually, she'll translate it down to my fingers. As soon as this leg moves, I release the finger and I rub her to let her know that was the right answer. So we're going to begin. I'm going to put my fingers where my foot would be. I'm going to put my hand up at the eye and I'm just going to shake it at her, get her to step over, add a little kiss. Oh, very good, very good. And what I ended up having to do is kind of wiggle my fingers at her eye to get her to go forward. Very good girl. I want to get her a little closer to the wall. You know, she kind of backed off. Some horses will continue to back off. As your horse is moving, whether forward or back, stay with them. Continue to ask to move to the side. Stay with your horse and be consistent. And I'm going to ask again, so I'm going to press at the girth. Very good. Oh, not quite the cross though. that a girl? Very nice, very nice. And she's picking up that very well. Good job. We're going to try it one more time. Good girl. And then we'll do the other side. So I'm going to put my fingers where my foot would be on the girth, hand at the eye, and I'm going to ask. Very good. Very nice. And she's sniffing everything, checking it all out.